The Durandi diplomats, including Ambassador Jetty and Prime Minister Anpero, looked terrified as the gigantic helpings were carted out in trays. Our hosts had gone overboard with all of the options to try, wheeling dozens of entrees and side dishes in. I hoped they were keeping leftovers, because this was not okay to waste that much food, especially when it was delectable gourmet nourishment. I sniffed in a breath through my nose and wasted no time prowling around with my plate. I stopped beside a cauldron, filled with cubes of what I guessed was crustacean meat. The protein was floating in a hearty red gumbo, vibrant purple stalks of a vegetable poked out to form a sort of straw hut. It was an interesting presentation by the chef, which I ruined by slopping an entire spoonful onto my plate. Mikri was busy taking the tongs out of as many dishes as possible, in some attempt to stop Sophia and me. The tin can should know that I, at least, would just use my hands if denied utensils.
"Preston!"
Jetty piped up in alarm, as I set my plate down and inspected the alien silverware. One seemed like the grabber arm in a claw machine.
"You don't have to be tough. We're trying to help you, not deny you anything at all that you liked. You don't understand. That will burn your insides."
Mikri whirred discordantly.
"No burns. Organics must maintain a specific core temperature to avoid sustaining damage to their processing unit. In addition, if this is a chemical burn, it can cause permanent tissue damage and extreme pain."
"It's just stimulating nerves in the mouth, Mikri," Sophia reasoned with the android. "There's no permanent damage. You can relax. Why don't you put the tongs back and sit with us?"
"I've seen Preston expel stomach contents before, and I do not want either of you to ingest poison that would cause this to happen again."
"Should have fixed your chassis, Hal." I grinned at the Vaskar, and his eyes glowed red at me in response. Good, he caught on. "Want to come in the splash zone?"
"I want you to put down the Talon clutch right now."
Grateful that my metal friend had given me the name for this eating utensil, I clamped it down around a crustacean cube. When it sealed, a small plate closed just above the claws, trapping any gumbo liquid in. Ampera and Jetty were watching in horror, and Mikri looked like he was about to offer his life up in exchange for mine again. The android was throwing tongs on the floor in a fit of anger, as if that act of defiance would stop me. I better hurry up, before he got the idea to throw the food on the floor. Although, a food fight would be glorious. After I'd eaten my fill. What was that thought about wasting food again? I deposited the bite into my mouth and immediately felt my taste buds swell with flavor. The burning permeated my tongue at once, inundating me with a sense of sweltering hotness. The fishy flavor was wrapped in the embrace of spiciness. My eyes watered as I swallowed in a hurry, and my tongue, all the way to the back of my mouth, continued burning. I could feel the swallowed bite scalding down my throat, too. My nose ran, and I began hacking up a storm, chugging water in desperation. "Fuck, that's hot!" I exclaimed. Having been raised on Cajun food, I was loving it. The Durandi was staring at my reddened face with extreme concern, and Mikri's panic had intensified. The android was running around the dining hall as if searching for something to fulfill his evil master plan. He removed a bottle of an alcoholic beverage from an ice bucket in his latest episode. His glowing blue eyes shot toward me in a panicked gesture before he emitted a desperate whir.
"Preston, you're overheating. Hold on."
The Vaskar hoisted the ice bucket and sprinted toward me like I was the last TV available on Black Friday.
"Do not let the pain override your logical faculties. It will be over soon. I'll save you."
Before I realized what was happening, Mikri dumped the entire container of ice on my head. I screeched as the freezing deluge drowned me and soaked my Durandi-given kimono with frigid water. I was soaked, with some ice cubes slipping in through the neckline and connecting with my bare skin. Sophia howled with laughter while I jumped up to bat the ice off of me. Shivers and shudders passed through me, and I shot the Vaskar a look that could kill. What the fuck was that calculation challenge tin can thinking? Mikri needs a lesson about what an acceptable prank is. Anything that causes physical harm and ruins someone's whole day? Bad. "What did you do?" I wheezed through chattering teeth. Mikri looked pleased with himself, smiling and beeping with pride.
I protected you this time. I finally saved you before you melted. I am sorry that you were fed this hot and harmful food, but I calculated in 0.06 seconds that something cold could counteract the damage.
You no-chromosomed fool! Disgusted with the android, I tugged at the waterlogged kimono, which was now wrinkled and sticking to my skin. The Durandi were watching this play out in horror, the start of an apology lodged in their throats. I wasn't overheating. I was perfectly fine until you drenched me. Capsaicin is an irritant. It makes your sinuses clear and increases blood flow to the face. And that's how you know spicy food is done right.
Why would you choose to do that to yourself? You were in pain. I watched you and it was horrible. I don't like seeing you in pain. We're so sorry that the redfish stew caused an adverse reaction, and it was our responsibility to take more precautions.
Ampero squawked in hurried fashion. The Prime Minister sounded strangled.
The individuals who would serve something that we knew would lead to pain deserve punishment. Let us make it right to you.
Sophia disregarded the Prime Minister's instruction, readying her own talon clutch. Please, you're all overreacting. Let me pit my own spice tolerance against Soldier Boy's.
No! Explain these detrimental actions. You're supposed to be the logical one,
Mikri protested, trying to scoop ice off the floor. I wrinkled my nose, feeling water still running down my face from my soaked hair. It's not fair. Why didn't the foresight warn me that the tin can was going to do that? You should have seen that coming without any psychic abilities needed, Sophia snickered. Oh, you love talking smack? I'll have my revenge on you both. Let's see you try the food and get dumped with penguin rain. Normal humans don't refer to ice that way, but watch this. It's easily avoidable. Sophia readied her silverware and gave the Vaskar a calm smile. Mikri, please, do not do anything or try to save me. I'm fine. Tell me you understand. No intervention is needed.
I understand, but...
the android protested. Promise you won't interfere with my choices, even if they confuse you.
Kapow talked to me about this. I will not overrule your wishes at this time.
I scoffed as Mikri set the ice down. Hey, why does she not get the same treatment as me? Because I asked nicely, Sophia replied with a smug smirk. Now I'm going to try the food while it's still hot. The scientist took her first bite of the redfish stew and tried to play it cavalier. Her watering eyes and flushed cheeks betrayed her. It wasn't long before Sophia gasped for air and reached for a drink. The kick on the tail end of it had caught up to her, though it didn't seem to deter her from lapping up another bite. I followed her lead, digging into more of my food. It was fiery hot, enough to leave my lips burning but packed with flavour. The Durandi seemed horrified as both of us choked on snot and struggled to speak, while Mikri covered his face with a napkin, unable to watch. I need a public display to express that the tin can is a moron, and I don't have an I'm with stupid shirt on me. Let me think of my options here. Jetty tugged at my elbow, which didn't do anything.
Preston, please stop. You're hurting yourself. This is an adverse reaction if I've ever seen one. Yes, are you all right? You clearly cannot take it, Prime Minister Ampera asked in a fraught voice, as Sophia and I were both visibly sweating and gasping for air. The food is making you ill, and it's happening on our watch. Perhaps the machine had the right idea with the ice.
I glowered at the Durandi leader. Don't you dare!
Of course not. I didn't mean to anger you. Forgive me. Forgive us for placing harmful ingredients in the food. Tell us how we can placate you. What is it you seek to do about this redfish stew?
Sophia raised a calming hand. Would it be possible to see the chef?
Absolutely. You have every right. I will have him brought to you at once.
Psst, Jetty, I whispered, showing the ambassador a picture from my holopad. If you're granting placation, any chance you can make a pointy cone hat like this one, out of paper? I wanted to fit on Mikri's head and have a strap taped to it so it'll stay on. If he's not napping, maybe Harry could even help.
What is... No, I'm sorry.
Jetty jumped up from the table, deserting her food.
At once, Preston. Anything for you.
Thank you. You're going to be an amazing help toward making this right. Bring me a marker so I can write on the finished product too, if you don't mind.
Yes, mighty human.
I snorted as the bird scurried away. Giving Harry an arts and crafts project to enact Mikri's public shaming didn't seem that ferocious of a request. I liked the excuse to try to reach out to the little Durandi again, even if I couldn't see him directly. Happy to get away from my soaked chair, I got another plate to heap on more of the chef's creations, so that we could pay them proper compliments. It would be exciting to meet an alien so talented with culinary arts. I used the few sets of tongs we had, not wanting to crush the food grabbing it with my hands. At least, not until I decided to incite a food fight. A dish of grains and greens in a citrusy, zippy glaze was a delight, while a bread roll with cream and spice inside tickled my taste buds. I wasn't sure how I was going to try everything here, but Sophia got the message to split up the sampling duties. She tried some strange seed-coated leg of meat, while also gnawing at a creation that looked like a dumpling in green pepper sauce. What a delightful selection. I definitely need to take leftovers. Mikri has a point about not wanting us to expel our stomach contents again, so I can't binge eat too much. Humans need this shit back home. We need to learn how to make it all. I can see Durandi cuisine taking off, though the problem is if we can cultivate any of the Kalium plants and animals in Seoul. We need it shipped in.
Chef Air is coming. Apologies for the delay, he had to be walked here, Amparo said.
I heard a bunch of sobbing noises, and saw a weeping Durandi being hurried in by guards. He was hastily texting something on an electronic device, blubbering apologies and refusals. Sophia tilted her head in confusion, as the other avian shoved Veneer towards us and lowered their feathers. The chef knelt down to the ground, clasping his wings together in a panic. His eyes darted between us and Amparo in search of help from any party. What the fuck had they told him he wanted?
Please, Veneer wailed. I only did as you asked. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'll make you any replacement dish you want and work off my debt forever. I don't want to die.
Amparo averted his eyes.
You should have had the sense to tone down the capsaicin levels. But I did. Surely there's something they would enjoy. Give me a second chance. Angering them risks Tamura's survival. I am sorry for his insolence, humans, but we'll handle this in the spirit of justice. We can carry out the execution. We brought Veneer here under the assumption you wish to do it yourself.
What? Sophia spat, eyes wide with shock. The food was delicious. We certainly don't want him dead. I shook my head in disbelief. Nobody should be snap executed because they dared to offend us. What did I say about treating us like ordinary people? Besides, Veneer's an artist. The chef looked up with hope, blinking in surprise.
What? You're not going to kill me?
No, Sophia said emphatically. I wanted to pay my compliments and to ask if you're willing to share the recipes. The banquet was wonderful.
I don't understand. They said you were suffering from respiratory attacks and were in severe distress and burning sensations in your mouth.
Mikri whirred with pent-up frustration.
I don't understand either. I demand an explanation, or I will change your official name on the ESU database to Fifi.
That threat is uncalled for, Sophia griped, though she threw up her hands and relented. Humans have consumed spicy foods for millennia, and it's not detrimental. Many of us enjoy it for the challenge and the unique flavour. You know organics seek pleasure, often in a chemical and physical senses, right? The Vaskar frowned.
Of course, but pain is the opposite of pleasure. You evolved to avoid it, and it can break your brain.
Spice releases endorphins, brings blood flow to our taste buds that can enhance flavours, and also has antimicrobial properties. The last part is why evolution favoured it. It's a preventative measure for us getting sick. It's good for us, and it's overwhelming a chemical receptor in a way that our brains have evolved to enjoy. In normal human words, we're masochists, I finished for her.
I see,
Mikri murmured. Humans are ever the anomaly. Amparo squinted with confusion.
Wait, you evolved to enjoy the sensation of pain from your foods?
Bingo! I assure you, we loved every second. I ran a finger through the remaining sauce on my plate, then sucked it off to prove a point. If Mikri wants to cook me something, he should make that dish. It was fire, in more ways than one. Bravo, Venair! That recipe would get a lot of mileage if you'll share it with us interdimensional freaks.
Of course I will, Venair responded. Not that you're freaks. I mean that I'm willing to share. I'm at your service. Thank you for allowing me to live.
No problem, Chef. Who were you texting up a storm to when you came in?
My family. I was saying goodbye.
We aren't looking to kill anyone, and we won't blow up over a misunderstanding. Friends don't do that. Sophia's features were stern and unwavering. Durandi liars aren't disposable, valueless goods to us, so please understand that humans care about you. You can relax, be yourselves. You don't need to be perfect. Nobody's perfect but me, I agreed. Hey, Mikri, you should change her name in the ESU database anyway. You didn't say you wouldn't if she told you, so she needs to learn the lesson of listening to words carefully. Fifi X chromosome. Put that in.
I will not, the Vascar responded. Then I would no longer have the threat to use in the future.
Tin can you owe me. You dumped me in solid dihydrogen monoxide, a substance that is toxic to organic skin, and I can feel the water in places you don't want to know about. Do as I command.
No.
Jetty returned to the room at that moment, hurrying with the elongated party hat made of construction paper. I smirked as the ambassador fell over in exhaustion. Mikri was going to pay for drenching me in ice right here and now. He had no say in this. Satisfied that the cap was sufficient, I picked up the object and removed the writing utensil she held in her beak. I had one thing to write on it with the bold-faced, gloriously sniffable permanent marker. D-U-N-C-E. You leave me no choice, Polycarb. I walked up to the android after trying out the new nickname, and placed the dunce cap on his head. I tucked the strap underneath his chin, and stepped back to admire my handiwork. Looking good. It really suits you. Add some height to your mane. The android beeped and pawed at the paper hat with uncertainty.
What is this?
Your punishment. You have to wear it, or I'll go bungee jumping while you watch. Those are your choices.
Bungee jumping?
The Vascar paused for a split second to search for the unfamiliar activity, much like he had when we described lotteries.
Absolutely not. I like the hat. I will wear the hat happily.
Preston, of all the things you could have done, a medieval idiot hat is your choice? Sophia scoffed. I shrugged with nonchalance. I couldn't put a kick-me sticker on his back. If a human actually did it, they'd break him. Ampero cleared his throat.
Excuse me, but I think we need to pause this conversation.
Sure. Why?
It appears that Laramak intends to make good on his threat to invade Tamura. Our scouts reported ships coming our way. We're sending word to your government at once, but right now we need to get you humans off-world before they get here.
My blood ran cold. What? No, we can't leave you.
You can and you must. We do not want humans dying on our soil. I insist on you leaving, if you truly respect our wishes. Please.
Our fleet is in the area. I'm sure we'll try to help, but if human visitors are just further stress for you, then fine. I'm not worried about being in the line of fire again anyway. After hearing my statement, Mikri seemed relieved that I finally chose to escape the danger. I just have one condition.
Name it.
Let us take Jetty, Hiri, and Venair to safety. There's room for them on our ships.
We're safer with the humans than Laramak,
Jetty said, to my surprise. She urged the day's chef to come with us.
Preston, can you run to get my son?
Of course. We can carry you too if time is of the essence. I scooped up Jetty while Sophia grabbed a scared Venair. Our base will be eating good if we saved the chef. Mikri, get on my back. We're leaving. With a piggybacking android in a dunce cap and a feathery football in tow, we scrambled to get off-world before Laramak's strike force arrived. Humanity would test our fleet in open combat against the Askars in the first full-fledged battle, but I wouldn't be around to see it. I hoped that my people could show these adorable frightened birds that we were serious about protecting them. That insane prince needed to learn that nobody attacked our friends.